All right, guys. Looks like we are live with this Bergamot Tour de 100 Q&A session, which we have specially kept for the audience who might have questions, multiple sorts of queries. We keep getting them on our Facebook inbox or emails, but I thought it would be a good opportunity for our team to, take a live session and then answer all the participant questions. So today we have Mayank Gupta, who's the founder of HDOR platform and Tour de 100, and he is also the brain behind, the conceptualizing the entire Bergamot Tour de 100 concept. So we have Mayank also to address our queries today.
Very good morning to everyone.
All right. So before we even start the session, we already have a few questions which some of you asked yesterday on the thread which we created about this announcement of this Q&A session. So we will start probably with those first. But before we do that, I would just like to take 5 more minutes of your time to go over some of the event basics. The event is just about a week away now, right? It starts on 19th of the month. And today is already the 11th, so 8 more days to go. And we sent out an email yesterday to all the participants capturing some of the very important things you all should know about and you have to follow for the event. So let me review some of those things once again, because a lot of people may be watching this session and this would be a good time to go over that quickly. So let me go to the website, share that with you, and then proceed from there. So let me share my screen, or rather the browser. I hope you guys can see it now. So the key aspect of this is all this event is basically data driven. That data, your ride data is going to come from some app or some your GPS watch, right? One of these avenues. So you have to make sure that your GPS watch is working, and in case you use Strava, you already know that we have an automatic import facility so that your Strava data can directly come in to the platform we have here, so that you don't need to submit data. So if you are a Strava user, please go ahead and connect your Tour de 100 account to your Strava account. Again, it's very simple. You just log in using the sign in button, and the next step would be go into your settings area, and you will be able to the settings area is right here on the very top around your image, and you can do the connected apps thing, connect your account to Strava. Very easy, very simple step. So that is one thing. The other thing is we have some more integrations coming in, and we will we are looking at making it live later coming week. Now there is a very important page which we have set up on this website. Let's go back to home and see it here on the new users page. So this is basically your portal to understand how the system works and what are you supposed to do after registering. The first step is, of course, the payment. You do the payment. We have a video here showcasing how you go from payment to doing the event confirmation on the website. If you do not have an HDOR or a Tour de 100 account already, then you create this account. It's a free account. You don't need to make any payments and all for doing that. Install the mobile app. We have apps for iOS as well as Android. We are talking about the Tour de 100 app and not your activity tracking app. Those two are different things. You use your activity tracking app or your GPS watches to track your distance. You use the TDS mobile app for checking out your dashboard, your reports, your leaderboards, for submitting data. If you are trying to do submission manually with a link, you can do that via the app. So there are two aspects. There is a tracking app and there is a event app. So let's move on. Then we talk about how to connect your Strava account to your TDH account. If you are a Strava user, it will make your life basically a lot easy. And what else? Rides using a supported. So so this is very important. I don't know why we have missed the supported apps link here, but there are a set of apps which we support as part of data tracking, and you should be using one of those recommended apps. Let me open that link right now. So supported apps, sdor.com, which is our platform, the base platform for all the events, sdor.com/supported apps. The link has been shared in emails to all of you, so you should find it there. But we will ensure that the link is here also. Supported apps, Strava, Garmin Connect, Runkeeper, Endomondo, Map My Run, Map My Ride. This you should consider Map My Ride also as part of this set. TomTom Sports, Apple Health app, Fitbit Watch. All of these things are expected to work with our platform for submission of data. Automatic import is limited only to Strava. So please remember that automatic import does not happen with any of the other apps, but there are ways in which you can manage that, right? You can manage to submit to share your, for example, TomTom Sports data to Strava, right? We have pointed out the relevant links here. You can share your Map My Run data to Strava. You can share your Endomondo data to Strava. All these processes exist. So please take your time. This is a very important phase, the last week. You have to ensure that you test out, you do these connects, do some test rides, and make sure that when finally your ride data is visible in the Tour-D100 website on your dashboard. That is very, very important. I cannot emphasize it enough. You have to do this testing this week. The Tour-D100 is a virtual platform. It's a technical platform, right? And for that, you have to be technically ready as well. You have to onboard on this platform, connect your apps, submit your data, and see everything is fine, so that when the event starts, you don't go into any trouble with anything. Basically, everything is clear. So with that out of the way, let's get started. Maybe Mayank, let's take their first question. I think Richa had to say something. Let's start with that question.
Sure, then let's do that.
So what does Richa have to say to us? Can you repeat the question again for the audience, and then we'll maybe you can answer that for her.
Just a second. So Richa's question was, can we upload manual entry if using Fitbit app for tracking, as my Fitbit to Strava has some issue?
Right.
So yes, you can do a manual upload. So while doing a manual upload, you will have to provide an activity link for any distance, any ride distance, which is more than 5 kilometers. You will have to provide an activity link, a public link, which anyone can open and check your activity details. Basically the distance covered, the time taken, the splits, all that information should be available. So if there is some challenge in syncing your data from Fitbit to Strava, you can directly, you can do a manual submission, and while submitting, you'll have to provide the activity link, which would be available once you log into your Fitbit account and just open up that activity in a browser. Just copy paste that link as part of the activity link. And the same holds good for many other apps where where you have an activity link, but there is some issue either exporting data to Strava or option to export data to Strava isn't available. Yes. So Tanvir, I think that was Richa's question.
All right. Let's come to the next one. Just give me a moment. So we have one from Pankaj. Pankaj is saying that Pankaj is saying that if we qualify for all the 30 challenges, which means he is saying that if we complete all those 30 challenges, he has done the calculations and he is saying there are a total of 7,350 points by completing all those challenges. Then he's saying, how is it possible to get the 12,000 points for platinum? And also please describe us how to do all those challenges, because day by day schedule. Okay, so that's the next question. But the key question is, how do we get to 12,000 points to complete the platinum finish?
Very good question. So as part of the challenge, points are awarded based on two criteria. One is the mileage and other is when you complete a challenge. So there is no restriction on the mileage. You can ride as much as you want. And challenges are something, they get you some bonus points. So definitely if you complete all the challenges only with the minimum required distance, then you'll reach to somewhere around 7,350 points, or maybe somewhere around that only. I don't have an exact number. I'm not sure whether this 7350 is exactly, correct or not. But then to reach to the platinum, you'll have to push yourself a bit more, do some more mileage, and then earn those extra points. And based on the feedback from last year and from many riders, we are also working on including the elevation part of your rides. So all the rides for which we'll get data from Strava, they have, your rides record the gain in elevation. So for every gain in elevation, we're considering of providing you some extra points. And yes, that will also help you to reach the goal of 12,000 points. That's an important thing, which was not part of the last edition, but we are planning to introduce it as part of this edition. And we shall be confirming the same on the platform within this week itself. The criteria, like how much gain in elevation will fetch you how much points.
So just to add a bit more on Mayank's comment, last year, for reference, the event topper, Shanmuganathan from Chennai, he did something like 15,000 kilometers as part of this event. Now, 15,000 kilometers directly translates into 15,000 points. So there are different sort of people, some people step out of their comfort zone and go that extra distance, right? Everybody has different motivations, different aspirations, and these multiple finisher levels cater to all of those people, right? The platinum to the very elite, right? Everybody is not expected to get platinum by default. It's not an easy, we have not set up an easy milestone to achieve platinum, that to complete all these challenges and to are at platinum. There is, a level of extra effort which is required to go to that milestone, like Shanmuganathan did last year and a few others also. So it's a high benchmark, obviously, not easy to meet, and we don't expect everyone to target that kind of milestone. Of course, some of those people will. So that's how it is set up. And Pankaj had an additional question about how to do all these challenges day by day. Schedule is very important. So he was pointing to the fact that, okay, we have these challenges and you have to do certain rides to meet those challenge criteria. But how do I manage as a layman, as a beginner, or even as a veteran? I want to understand, okay, what pattern should I follow? Because everybody can follow different pattern, right? If we say that you have to ride 5 days, let's say 10 kilometers during these stage one, let's say an example, you can ride those 10 kilometers on the first 5 days, you can ride those 10 kilometers on the last 5 days of this 20-day stages, right? So everybody can do it differently. But like Pankaj said, and a very valid point, if we can draft something which can guide participants, okay, this is just a very simple plan, please go ahead. If you don't want to worry about how to do this, this is a very simple plan, and you can just follow it. And Mayank is right now working on that plan, drafting that plan. So we already have, Mayank tells me that we already have, some examples of each of those stages on our PPT, on the slide deck, which we have on the rules page. The rules page on the platform is something I will show to you right now. Just give me a moment. So the rules page is here. There is a slide deck on this rules page, which all participants, it's like mandatory to go through this slide deck because it has a lot of information which everybody will be required to check, to go through, to understand the concept, right? It's almost mandatory to go through this slide deck. So it has the right patterns on how to achieve stage 1. If you have to achieve, what can you potentially do on certain days? Stage 2, what can you do? But we will, like Pankaj said, we will create a simple looking right patterns so that all participants who don't want to spend that extra effort to try to set up this plan for themselves, we will do it for them. So Mayank, we should be good with that, right? And we should have it published soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
We'll have it published maybe latest by tomorrow evening or something like that.
Excellent. Let's move to the next question, which is from Anil. Now this one talks about, we mentioned a criteria that if you are doing a long ride, the long ride could be 50 kilometers, 100 kilometers, 150, 200 kilometers, right? We have multiple long rides in the challenge format. The question here is that our rule says that during this long ride, you should not have a gap of more than 15 minutes between data submissions for specific activities which represent that ride. So your 200 kilometers ride might be submitted as 4 rides on Strava. 4 rides on Strava, let's say of 50 kilometers each. But there should be a maximum gap of 15 minutes between these 4 rides to be considered as part of a single ride. The question here is, and the challenge which Anil mentions about is, if the GPS device drains in between and those 15 minutes are not enough to charge the device, then what can we do? That's the question, Mayank.
So, the reason behind giving this 15 minutes break is to provide or to help participants to switch from one device to another. So in this case, my advice would be to keep an eye on, on the battery levels, and, you should have some anticipation around how much would my watch last or how much would my one phone last. So probably don't wait for it to go to 0% and plan it in a way so that, you get time to switch from one device to the other. So if you are ending for example, that your phone is at about 15% of the battery left and you have to switch to the another phone, and do it then. Don't wait for it to go to 0 and then realize that, yes, I'm out of battery and then I have to start, because it will only create, confusion, and the end time of your first activity won't be recorded properly. And then there could be a possibility that those comes out to be as in overlapping activities. So it's always good to plan it, to keep an eye on the battery levels of your tracking device, whether it's a watch or a mobile phone. And those 15 minutes is like a good considerable time to switch. And we had many people do that in last edition, and they were able to do it successfully. In fact, if I remember correctly, in last edition, we had rides going up to even 300 kilometers, and people were using that 15-minute window to split their rides into 2 or 3 based on their devices. And that is how it was managed. So we don't encourage merging of rides, clubbing of rides. If they have been done as 2 independent rides, we should get them as 2 independent rides. And if the end time and the start time difference of 2 rides is less than 15 minutes, system will automatically consider them as 1. So this is not done manually, it's all system driven. So yes.
Okay. Thanks, man. So that completes addressing the questions we had on yesterday's post. So let's come to the live video and our session here, and people have been asking some questions. Yogesh is saying hi Yogesh. Then Pankaj talking about how much time. I think he was talking about how much time to start the session or something. Not sure. Maybe Pankaj can clarify in another comment. Abhi talks about the app is connected to Strava but doesn't update data. The app is connected to Strava. So I assume you have connected your TDH account to your Strava account, either via using the mobile app for TDH or using the TDH website. You would have done either of these, right? And you are saying that it's not importing. So there are a few reasons when it will not import. First, the main reason, and which is true for 90% of the people, or maybe almost everybody, is that the privacy settings are not appropriate. We expect the privacy to be set to everyone in Strava. In Strava, your privacy settings should be everyone for all the various privacy. There are privacy settings associated with whether other participants can see where you started the ride. There is a safe circle, right? The home zone. If you make that private, you do not want to show where you started the ride, your rights are not going to be imported. If you disable the general privacy settings so that you hide your rights, you want to make them private, the data will not import. So please ensure that all your settings are public for privacy. All those, which means Strava uses the word everybody. So that is something you should remember. So that is one thing. What else which can cause data not to come back? Do you remember any other thing which can possibly cause a problem with data import from Strava to our platform? Manual entries maybe?
Yeah, if if the data which has been added to Strava has been added manually, that could be other reason. Otherwise, the privacy settings.
Right. So
these are the only two reasons.
Right. So let's talk about manual entry. Let's say you did a ride of 10 kilometers today, and you saved it on your phone or on your GPS device, and finally from your GPS device it comes to your Strava account. It may take some time. Once it is available in the Strava account, our Tour de 100 system typically takes within 30 minutes. It should be available typically within your account within 30 minutes. However, if you submit a manual entry, which means you go to the TDH website or app and go to the submit a ride section, and you physically submit a ride, which means you enter the distance, you enter the time, you enter the activity link of the ride from Strava by copying it over, then that will prevent any import to happen for that day. No imports will happen for that day. Next day is fine, but for that day for which you already submitted a manual entry directly on the website or on the app for Tour de 100, all your imports will be disabled. So these are the two common scenarios in which imports will not happen. Privacy settings, manual entry, both of these are probably the only two cases. So please go back and check this at your end. And if all seems fine and it is still not importing, please drop us a message at our support email alias, which is support@tourde100.com, and our team will get back to you, check it out for you and resolve this problem. So this is the time to do it right now, right? Because you don't want to get into these sort of problems right at the very end when the event starts. So please do this testing now, today. And if you have problems, email our team. So that takes care of
another point, Tanvir. Only rides done after connecting your Strava account would be imported. No historical data would get imported automatically.
Right. So no backdated rides are imported. Only future rides, once you make this connection between Strava account and Tour de 100 account, will your rides start getting imported. Let's go to the next question. Nagananda Naga says that should we install SDOR app and Tour de 100 app both? No, Nagananda, that is not required. The Tour de 100 app is what is required for this event. Abhipriya Sharma has a question. Can you demonstrate the steps of installation as mentioned in the mail? The installation of what? That is not clear. So that is that installation of the Tour de 100 app, or installation of or connecting your Strava account to your 100 days account? I'm not sure what you are talking about. Maybe you want to clarify. We have, I think what can probably help you is going to the new user section. Let me open that for you once again, because that showcases all the steps which are needed to onboard on the platform. It has all the steps basically. So if you want to go into any, you want to understand how to do what, all those steps are listed here. Even we also have an onboarding video for the same. So I hope this can probably help clarify your question. Let's go to the next one. Parag, best option to clock the ride is start recording the ride, put the phone on the airplane mode. Okay, he has some suggestions, so we'll skip past that. Our participants can probably go through that. Let's go to the next question, which is from Deepika. Deepika says, I'm a beginner. Is it mandatory to complete all the challenges, Mayank?
No, it is not mandatory to complete all the challenges. You can take up challenges as per your, as per your convenience, what you think you can do. And yes, that's it. So basically you can pick up any challenges from any stage. There are no disqualification criterias.
So what's our finisher criteria? I think we have something about that, right? At least one challenge completion from every stage.
Yes. So we have one challenge completion from every stage, and we have, the minimum number of points which you need to gather at the end of the 100-day period, at the end of all 5 stages. I think you should be having around 1500 points.
Right. So let's go to that section, right? We have a section at the very bottom of the home page of Tour D100, which talks about the minimum number of points to earn your finisher medal. I think we probably need to update this to confirm that there are 2 finisher criterias, right? I think we have mentioned it in different places. We should make it consistent on the website also. There are 2 finisher criteria. One is to achieve the minimum number of points, 1,500 points, which should be doable by almost everybody. It's a very low threshold. That is one criteria. And the second criteria, like Mayank mentioned, was you have to complete at least one challenge from each stage. So out of 30 challenges, you are expected to complete at least 6 to qualify for your finisher medal. So again, they are easy thresholds. Everybody and anybody who is serious about this, who has a genuine interest in trying out something, giving a reasonable effort, should be able to meet those finisher criteria comfortably. All right. So who do we have next? Anil's comment has already been addressed. Abhi has a comment about participation with a t-shirt. I have registered for the event participation with the t-shirt on the platform. It's not showing registered for t-shirt. I do not fully understand the question. When you register with a t-shirt and you go to the section which has your event confirmation, you provide the event confirmation code. It asks you a certain number of questions. And t-shirt size is one of them, and you submit that, and that's how we receive information about your t-shirt. So if you are not sure about what is happening for you, please drop us an email at support@tourd100.com, and our team will get back to you on that. So please go ahead and drop us a mail. So Nagananda has a comment also about Strava. Let's come to that. He says that the TDH app is his TDH app is connected with Strava, and he has tested that it's importing data and he can see the ride. So thank you for sharing that update, Nagananda. Yes, we have, this system has been working for several years on our platform. We have the same system catering to 15,000 participants as part of our 100 days of running challenge. I mean, this system is very robust. It's working for a huge community of runners for that for our flagship running event, which is 100 days of running, which just finished a few days back on October 4th. 15,000 participants, and a huge set of those participants have actually connected their Strava accounts to their HDOR account, which is same as the TourD100 account at the very underlying. It's the same platform. The TourD100 uses the HDOR platform as the basis for this virtual platform. So the platform has been available for several years now, very stable, and we should not see any Strava issues at this point of time if the participants are following the due process, like Mayank mentioned.
And for those who are like existing HDOR users, they need not even connect their Strava account again. Once they go and log in on to the 100, they can use the same credentials. And if they will check under their connected apps section, the Strava would already be connected.
Right. Nagananda has another question about the T-shirt, and he says he registered on 8th of October, and he's asking whether he'll receive the T-shirt before the event starts. So Nagananda, our commitment at this point of time has been to dispatch your T-shirt within 10 days. We do it in batches. There's a process going on behind the dispatch, and we do it within 10 days. So if you have registered on 8th, we expect the dispatch to happen by 17th, and then within a couple of days or 3 days or 4 days, depending on where you live, the delivery will happen. So that's the timeline expectation for deliveries for T-shirt.
So Tanvi, there is a question from Davinder Juj. Can you earn multiple points in same stage doing an activity multiple times?
All right, let's try to answer that.
So for one challenge, you will earn points only once. So for example, in stage 1, there is a challenge called Platinum Ride where you are supposed to ride 100 kilometers. So if you do multiple 100-kilometer rides, you will get the challenge points only once. If anyone does any challenge more than once, the bonus points will only be awarded once, but yes, you will earn the mileage points for all your rides. So I think that answers his question.
Nagananda was replying to Abhi saying that he registered for the event still does not show in the app, which means probably in all likelihood you have not completed the second step of the registration, which is to submit your registration code. And like I shared, the most important page on this website is new users page. That tells you how to do that. So please go through the video, please go through this entire process, and your event, once you have made the payment, you have completed the registration, it should be available as a live event on your app, on your website in the dashboard section. So that's Nagananda. Then we have Ankur, how to verify HDOR is connected to Strava. Ankur, the connected apps section provides that information. It's under your settings. Let me go back to the sign in. Then you basically click on your photo after logging in. You see the settings part visible, and then you go to settings, connected apps, and you see whether it's connected or not, right? You can connect or disconnect from here. What else? How to? So Ankur's question is answered. Abhi, I think we answered that. Platform is not showing T-shirt part. Anil had a comment. Pradeep, I'm not able to see new users tab after signing in. That's a comment for us. Mayank, let's get that. Let's get that new users added to the menu after signing in. Participants do not see that after signing in. So
we'll take care of that.
Yeah, Pradeep, thanks for pointing this out. Who else? Ravi has a question about how to connect Strava to TourD100. I think we have these videos, Mayank, on the HDOR website, but probably we need to add a video here as well. But for Ravi's benefit, let me show you the process in brief, right? You go into your settings, this connected app section I just opened, and by default it's off. And then what you have to do is you basically click on this icon. It opens your, initiates your Strava login and all for connecting it. You go there, you connect it, give the appropriate permissions and all those things, authorize. Your Strava is connected. Yes, that's a quick job to get your account connected to HDOR, right? And we are back on the website. Your account is connected. That's it. So Ravi's question is answered. Tavinder's question, Mayank has already answered. You can earn multiple points, right, Mayank? This is the one we answered.
Yeah.
Okay. Ravi mentions this is his first event. Excellent. Welcome on board, Ravi. I hope you enjoy, have a lot of fun completing these challenges during the upcoming 100 days. Who else? Rohit. Rohit has a question about last challenge was quite tough. Last challenge is quite tough. So can we club the weekend ride of 250 kilometers with 3 days, 500 kilometers challenge? So Mayank, that's a question for you. But I believe the answer is yes. He's saying basically that can we connect, there's a weekend ride of 250 kilometers and there is a challenge of do 500 kilometers in 3 days. What Rohit is asking is, can we connect these two together?
Yes. So Tanvir, I would say, can you open up the rules and FAQ page and the last slide on that PPT? It has a right pattern
page
for the stage 5. Yes. Rules
okay,
and
let's
FAQs,
take a look at this.
PPT. Yes.
So what do we say here?
So, this is how it has. Yeah. So if you see the 3 weekend rides, they are being clubbed with the other rides as well. So it is 400 kilometers in 7 days. And the entire week rides are being considered for other rides as well. So for example, it is considered for long weekend. It is also considered for 7 days into 50 kilometers. So they can be overlapped. Your 200 kilometer ride is also getting counted into your 7-day count. So basically the answer to your question is yes.
Okay. Mahesh has a similar question. Do we need to do at least 16 rides in stage 2 to get all the 6 challenges? Let's go to stage 2. He's saying, do we need to do 16 rides?
I don't
to
think
complete
so
all
that
the 6 challenges.
For the stage 2, I don't think we need 16.
I think we should answer it from a very generic point of view. What is the philosophy? Once the participants understand the philosophy, we don't need to get into 16 or 15 or how many, right?
Correct. So, every stage has first 2 challenges, which is minimum days and the minimum distance. So all your rides will be considered for these 2 challenges.
So let me go to the home page then, just to showcase what we are talking about. One example would probably give participants enough background and understand and resolve their confusion. Let's take the examples from here.
Okay, this stage 1 is very simple. So the first 2 challenges says minimum days and minimum distance. So minimum distance challenges that you have to do a minimum, in the entire 20-day period. This is the minimum number of rides which you are supposed to do. And every ride has to be a minimum of 5 kilometers. So the minimum days challenge is same across all 5 stages, with the number of days increasing as we move towards stage 5. And I think the distance is also increasing a bit. I don't remember. Then the minimum distance is the total distance which you are required to cover in a 20-day period. So all the rides will be considered for this as well. Now, for example, for the stage 1, there are 4 individual rides of bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. All these 4 rides have to be done independently. Doing a 100-kilometer ride will not count for bronze, silver, and gold. So basically, to complete this entire challenge, to do all 5 stages, you need to do 5 rides. That's it. First ride of 100 kilometers, then a 75, then 50, then 25, and one more ride on any other day than these 4 of a 5 kilometers. So only with 5 rides done on 5 different days, covering the required distances, would complete all the challenges of stage 1.
All right. So I hope that clarifies how.
Maybe we can probably go to one more stage, either stage 3 or 4, where we have different types of challenges, and we can
Right. Let's go to stage 3.
Yeah. So in stage 3, okay, we again have minimum days and minimum distance. The same rule applies. All rides will count for these 2 challenges. Now, for the remaining 4, all the rides have to be done independently. So that means we have to have, 7 rides of 15 kilometers. So that means 7 rides. Then we are talking about 5 rides of 30 kilometers. So that makes it 12. Then we are saying ride for a minimum of 50 kilometers per day for 2 consecutive days. Again, these are 2 independent rides. So the count is 7 plus 5 is 12 plus 2, 14. And we are saying one more endurance ride of 150 kilometers. So the count is again 7 plus 5 plus 12 plus 2, 14 plus 1, 15. So we need to do a total of 15 rides to complete all the stage 3 challenges. Now we can do, for example, we can do a 15-kilometer ride in the morning and a 30-kilometer ride in the evening. So those 2 rides will count. One ride will count for 7 into 15 days challenge, and the 30-kilometer ride will count into 5 into 30-day challenge. So you can ride multiple times to complete these, but they have to be independent rides. I hope that clarifies,
Okay, so we take the next question, which I believe we have already answered. Can we do 2 rides in a day and complete the long ride challenge? No. The long ride rule is clear on the website. There has to be a maximum gap of 15 minutes between such 2 rides for them to be considered as a single long ride. So you have to make sure that if this ride is broken into multiple smaller rides, there is a gap of no more than 15 minutes in the recording of those rides, which means when we receive your data from Strava, the finish time of the first ride and the starting time of the second ride should differ by no more than 15 minutes. So please be very careful about that, otherwise you might miss this thing. Davinder has a question. Does the total of all activities in all stages totals to diamond level finish?
No.
No, Davinder, that is not true. The finishes are not directly mapped to levels, finisher levels. You do all these challenges, you earn certain number of points, and for example, we talked about platinum level at the very start of this session. If you add up all the points, you are somewhere around 7,500 or whatever, 8,000 points. You need to do more. You need to earn more points to achieve the platinum level, and you can do that by doing higher mileage, basically. Similarly, the diamond level is not exactly mapped to a particular completion of all the stages, right? The stages completion is a requirement, right? Let's go back to and see what the diamond level says.
Yes, and we're completing all the challenges of all the stages is a requirement to be a diamond finisher, but that's not the only criteria.
Right. So there are two criteria. You do all this, it's not automatic qualification by doing all the challenges, right? Do all the challenges and also make sure that you earn 15,000 points. So maybe to help participants, we should have additional information here so that they understand that finishing 30,000 challenges are going to earn them so many points. And additionally, they should do something more so that they can reach to 15,000 points. So let me take an action item on that we will have more precise instructions on how many points you earn by completing all these challenges, and then what extra effort do you need to do to reach to the diamond level or whether it's platinum level. Okay, so that will help clarify a bit more on for the participants. All right, let's move ahead. Pankaj mentioned, how do we get total of 12,000 points? Again, completing challenges will give you something like 8,000 points, and then you need to up your mileage. And like I said, you earn 1 point per kilometer, right? So you have to do those extra kilometers to earn those extra points, basically. That's the answer. Ravi has a question. My aim is to do 2,000 or 2,500 points. Any tips? How do I plan my trip? As a starter, how should I go about planning stage 1, stage 2, all the way to stage 5? So again, Ravi, we already have taken down this action item to come up with a plan of your day-to-day rides across this entire 100 days, which will help you meet the event finish guidelines, the event challenges in an organized way, basically, in one of the suggested ways from our team. So we will have that published in the coming week. So please look forward to that. We will update that on our Facebook page as well as on via the email. So you should receive that information very soon. Where do we find this ride samples? Ride samples, it's on the one which we are showcasing to you right now. It's on our rules and FAQs page. Please, it's on the very top of the website, the rules and FAQs page, which has a slide deck. It's a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation, which has multiple slides, and you can go through those slides here. On mobile, you will see this is a link, and you have to click that link to download, but on the computer, you will be able to see the entire slide by itself. So that's about the sample slides. Okay, what else? Mahesh, I cannot do outside due to Corona. Can I do it on Zwift? Mayank, indoor trainer question.
Yes, you can do it on indoor trainers as long as the data is available through Strava. All the proper data is available with all the splits and the distance covered and all that information.
Right. Basically, the key aspect is Mahesh. Mahesh, that we need to have your data. True. Your data needs to come from somewhere. Those indoor trainers you use for riding, they generate this data, right? The data may go to your Garmin account or Strava account or some other app account, and you should be able to use that app account to submit your ride information on the Tour-D100 platform. If it is going to Strava, that is the best case right now, because we have an automatic import from Strava to TDH. So you don't need to submit anything on a daily basis. That will be most convenient. Nagananda has now a question. I have completed the registration, does not show in the 100 days app, in the TDH app. How does it show in the TDH web portal? Again, please go through the new users section at the very top. It tells you, I am highlighting it again, the new users section in the menu. It explains what are the next set of steps you need to complete your registration after the payment. Mahesh has a similar question. So Mahesh, same comments apply to your question also. Sharon has a question. I think it will be clearer if all the individual rights should be explicitly mentioned as such. All the individual rights are explicitly mentioned as such. What does he mean here?
So Tanvir, I think he means that there are, there are cases where we need participants to do that ride individually or exclusively. Like, that ride will not be considered for any other challenge within that stage. So that is what he is saying, that if that can be mentioned, in a more explicit manner.
Okay, so we will try to address that by updating some of our data on the website. Aveen has a question. Stage 3, can we ride 15 kilometers morning and evening? Will that be counted as separate days? Obviously not, Aveen. For any single day requirements, you have to do that in a single day. You cannot come. For example, 10 days ride 5 kilometers each. You cannot ride 50 kilometers on a single day to complete that. So these are like, the focus on these challenges is consistency, right? The focus is not to just do that on a single day and be done with it for the entire stage. The focus is to, have participants do it on a regular basis, and that's why the requirement to do it on different days. Rohit, why is there a different challenge stage? Why there is a different challenge stage as declared earlier? In the last stage, we have pumped up ride for 7 days, 500 kilometers, 1 day, 300 kilometers. Is there a change in all stages which I have seen earlier? Is there change?
I think Rohit is referring to the stages based on last year's edition. So Rohit, yes, there are changes in all the stages as compared to last year's edition. And, keeping in mind the pandemic and the restrictions and the feedback, we have probably eased a bit for all the challenges across all the stages.
Right. So basically,
for example, yeah. This year, the longest ride is 200 kilometers, I think, which is as part of stage 5.
Right. Jitin has a question about doing 2 rides in a single day. Again, like we mentioned here, you can do 2 rides in a single day, but you have to remember what are the rules. If the rule says, let's see the rules. Ride for a minimum of 150 kilometers in 20 days. You can do 15 rides of 10 kilometers in a single day and complete this 150 kilometers. There is no stopping you. As far as this minimum distance challenge of 150 kilometers in 20 days goes. You can do this 150 kilometers ride in a single day by doing 10 rides of 15 kilometers and be done with 150 kilometers. That is a minimum distance challenge. But for other things like ride for a minimum of 10 days, 5 kilometers each day, if you are doing this 15 rides in a single day, there will be only one entry counted, which is 5 kilometers, and that's it. Other entries will not be counted because they are supposed to happen on different days, right? So you have to keep in mind what are the challenges we are talking about. And once you look at what the challenge is, it will be obvious whether your multiple rides in a day will count towards the challenge or won't count towards that challenge. It should be obvious by looking at the challenge box. Mahesh, I have a smart trainer. Can I do using Zwift, not going outside? We answered that, Mahesh. Yes, as long as your data is coming to a supported app like Strava, like Garmin, like TomTom, we should be fine with that. Ravi, okay, we move to Mira. Should we upload our activity every day, or should it be directly taken from Strava? We answered that, Mira, earlier, that it's your choice. We provide a facility for you that if you connect your Strava account to your Tour D100 account, we will automatically import your rides, and then you don't need to submit data on an everyday basis, right? But if you are comfortable with doing that daily submission, it's your choice finally. Or you use some other app for which we do not support an automatic import, then obviously you are constrained by that limitation that you have to submit data on a daily basis when using some other apps. Davinder, all right. So Mayank, let's take some more questions. Can you go through the next set of questions starting from Davinder?
So the Davinder says the next question is, so the weekend means Friday to Sunday or Saturday and Sunday? So the weekend is Saturday and Sunday. Then the next is Sharan, which I think it's a reply we can skip. Ashish says, I'm new to riding. Any safety precautions that you would advise for long rides? So Ashish, from our side, you should make sure you carry your lights, your helmets, and all the safety equipments required when you are going for your long ride. And the other thing would be try not to go alone. Try to go in a group of at least 2 or 3 people. So yes, that is what we would say for the long rides. Then we have next question from Nishan. So if there is a 15-kilometer challenge and I do 25, can this be considered for the 15-kilometer challenge? Yes, it will be considered, Nishan. Then we have Rohit, which is thanks. Can we have recording of this video that can be seen later? Yes, this would be available on our Facebook page. You can view it later as per your convenience and go through all the points which we have discussed. Then we have another question from Davinder, which says there are 2 days into distance challenge in stage 3. Do we have to do both separately over 12 days or 7 days? Overlap the 5 days. So Devinder, it's up to you. Those, when we say 7 rides of 15 kilometer on 7 different days, then the 7 rides have to be, on the 7 rides of 15 kilometer have to be on 7 different days. Now, you can also, what you can do is, for example, you have 5 rides of 30 kilometer. So you can do a 15 kilometer in the morning and a 30 kilometer in the evening. So both would be counted for the respective challenges, or you can, have them split over different days. Yeah, like doing 15 kilometer on 7 days, then doing 30 kilometer on 5 different days. So it's up to you. So if you want, you can ride multiple times, or if you want, you can ride on all those on independent days. So both would be acceptable. How to connect Strava with the TDH is, I think, what the question is. So we have already covered that, Aryan, and there is a section of new users on the website. You can go through that, and it has a video available which has all the steps of how to connect Strava. And then Meera, okay, then we have another question. Can you please tell me every time there will be new challenges given by you, or we can choose? So Aryan, the challenges for the entire event have already been defined. They are listed. Event is divided into 5 stages, each stage spanning across 20 days. There are 6 challenges as part of each stage. And you're supposed to do, you have to complete those challenges as part of each stage and move forward. There are, as I mentioned earlier also, there are no disqualification criteria. If you miss something, you can still go ahead and plan for the remaining of the challenges. I think, Tanvir, that's it. There are no more questions as of now.
Yes, so I think we have covered all the questions. And we almost took like an hour for doing all of this. So excellent. I think Davinder has one final point before we wind up this session. My point on stage 3 rides was, if I do 7 rides of 30 kilometers, will this also cover 5 rides of 15 kilometers, 7 rides of 30 kilometers? No, Davinder, these are 2 different. Let's go to stage 3, which he's talking about. So 7 rides of 15 kilometers and 5 rides of 30 kilometers. These are different. No days into distance challenges are overlapping. All of them are non-overlapping challenges, whether it's 7 into 15, 5 into 30, or 50 into 2. All of these challenges are non-overlapping challenges. You have to do them separately. So that's it, I guess. If you have any additional questions, any of you, please feel free to, share those questions. Maybe on the same thread, right? We have this thread open, which a lot of participants would possibly look to for guidance and for the video. So it would be a nice idea that if any of you who joined late, who still have some open questions after looking at the video today, they can post this their additional comments on the same video, and then we would be happy to answer any additional questions later on. This video will be posted. This video is already available on the Facebook page. This video will also be uploaded on our YouTube channel. So we will share the channel link as well for those of you who subscribe to YouTube and follow the event, follow the platform on that channel. You can do that as well. So that's it. Thank you. I think we are in the final phase. Mayank, any last words for participants before we close the session?
So all the best, take care, and you have to make sure of take care of all the safety measures, and take up the challenges as per your you have your own targets as per your fitness. That's it. Tanvir, we were also supposed to do something around the medal.
Right. So yes, we have the medal for the event made, and we will be publishing the medal today on our social media handles. So please look forward to a post about the medal design and its look. It's going to be a customized medal with your name on it. It's come out really well. We have the samples with us now, and we will be unveiling those samples later on in the day. So please keep a watch on our Facebook handles, because we will be sharing the medal unveil video very soon. So thank you. All right, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot for attending this session, and wishing you all the very best. Just a few more days to go before the event starts. Make sure that you follow all the onboarding process for this event so that you do not struggle on the day one of the event. Do some test rides this week, and then let's start the event on a high note. So with that, we close the session today. Thank you all for all your questions. Hope we were able to answer it. More questions, feel free to post them in the comment section. Thank you.
Thank you.